May 17, 1939, Televised Breakthrough. The United States witnessed a milestone in both sports and broadcasting history with the first televised sporting event in the nation. This pioneering broadcast featured a collegiate baseball game between Princeton University and Columbia University. The event took place at Baker Field, Columbia's home stadium in New York City, and was televised by the National Broadcasting Company. The broadcast was carried over experimental station W2XBS, a predecessor of WNBC, using technology that was still in its formative stage. The game itself was noteworthy for reasons beyond the score. Although Princeton defeated Columbia 2-1, the greater victory was achieved by the medium of television. The equipment used included one single iconoscope camera, positioned behind home plate. The broadcast was transmitted to a limited audience within a 50-mile radius of New York City, mostly composed of radio engineers, technicians, and a handful of early television owners. At the time, there were fewer than 1,000 television sets in the United States, highlighting the experimental nature of the transmission. David Sarnoff, president of RCA, which owned NBC, had been a major proponent of television technology. The 1939 World's Fair in New York, opened by Sarnoff himself, had just introduced television to a broader public weeks earlier. The timing of the baseball broadcast was strategic, serving as a demonstration of the medium's potential to carry live sports and other public events. The Princeton-Columbia game became a proof of concept that sports could be successfully delivered to remote viewers, a precedent that would later define television's role in American culture. The broadcast marked the beginning of a new era in sports consumption. Prior to television, Americans relied on radio, newspapers, and attending games in person to follow their favorite teams. The introduction of live visual coverage opened a path to mass accessibility. While the audience in 1939 was minuscule, the concept gained rapid traction in subsequent decades. Major sporting leagues, including Major League Baseball, the National Football League, and the National Basketball Association, would eventually structure their schedules, rules, and marketing around television broadcasting. This 1939 event also played a pivotal role in the development of sports journalism and advertising. Broadcasters began to recognize the power of live sports to draw viewers, leading to increased investment in equipment, talent, and infrastructure. By the 1950s, televised sports became a central component of American weekend entertainment. What began as a modest experiment in New York became a foundation for multi-billion-dollar broadcast deals and global sports coverage. The May 17th broadcast of the Princeton-Columbia game was not merely a technological feat. It was a turning point that altered how Americans engage with sports. It demonstrated that television could do more than inform or entertain in general terms. It could capture the motion, tension, and drama of live competition. That discovery changed the trajectory of both the sports industry and the broadcast media landscape. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.